Farm to fork, the corn supply chain. Field corn for livestock feed. For FARE1400 by Skylar Lee, Caleb Lee, and Hayden Mattice. April 6, 2026. The supply chain diagram goes as follows. First, planting and growing. Second, harvest and marketing. Third, transportation. 4, storage. 5th, the feed mill. And 6th, the end consumer. We will be discussing all 6 of these stages further in the presentation. Stage 1, growing field corn. A farmer makes the decision to grow corn based on many factors, some which include the price, both current, or the price at the time of planting, and the future price, which is the estimate of the price in the future. This is important for things like contracts, which we'll discuss in the next stage. Their crop rotation, so what was grown in the field previously to this year, which can affect things like soil quality and nutrient availability. The land, do they use all the land that they own? Do they need to grow other things on that land? Should they rent land, etc.? And the equipment and time available. Time is key because planting season does not last that long. It can be as short as a few weeks in which the farmer needs to put the seed into the field. Value is added here starting from the corn seed. From a single seed, an average of 800 kernels are produced. Note that that is an average and can vary based upon things like the variety of corn grown and the conditions in which it grew. The farmer adds value through their labor, their planning, their land, their capital, and their equipment. The non-human value comes from things like photosynthesis, the climate, the water, or rain, soil nutrients, and many, many more. Stage 2, harvesting and marketing. After the corn is fully grown, it gets harvested and sold or stored. The farmer can either cut the corn themselves or hire a company to harvest for them. This decision is based on the equipment the farmer has and the amount of time they have. If you don't have the proper setup to cut the corn on your combine, you need to hire someone else. The decision is then made to sell the crop or store it based on current market conditions. There can also be a contract in place to sell a certain amount of corn to a business at a previously agreed upon price. This usually happens before planting and can give the farmer a sense of security when planting. Based on the market, prices are always changing as a commodity. As of now, in April of 2026, the price is around $6 Canadian per bushel.
Stage 3 transportation. Grain will need to be taken from the field to a secondary producer. The farmer may transport their own grain or hire a grain transportation company for them. Transportation costs are based on many factors such as fuel price, equipment costs, driver wages, and many more. Value is added by getting product from the field to further production facilities or consumers. Stage 4, storage and drying. The grain ends up in a storage facility, an elevator, a co-op, etc. And scale is key. The cost of facilities spread between dozens to hundreds of individual producers. Corn needs to be dry in order to store it and process it. It can come off the field dry or dried in large industrial dryers at the elevator. Value is added from storing grain until it needs to be used. Economy of scale and drying. Stage 5, the feed mill. Corn can be fed in whole or crushed kernels or used in a feed mix. Feed mills have facilities, supply chains, and animal nutrition specialists to best serve consumers and consumer needs. They offer delivery service of feed to the farm. Value is added by turning raw product into optimized feed to make animals more productive. And stage 6, the consumer. Farmer purchases feed with various nutrient levels to feed livestock. Consumer can choose to buy various feed quantities. Feed is priced based on the nutrition and the process it took to make the feed. This can fluctuate based on market conditions and what demand and supply is. Livestock use this feed and eventually become food products: milk, meat, eggs, etc.
The economics of the supply chain. So various firms contribute to the production of the feed for the livestock, and each stage of the supply chain adds to the economic value. Prices increase as more processing is done, and price can also be based on the quality or the grade of the livestock feed. Price can also relate to the market value as seen in these graphs on the right-hand side. Now here's the money breakdown of the economics for the supply chain. On the right here, there are tables of 2019 and 2022, and they show the projected field income per acre of corn from a farm in the Otto Valley. These tables illustrate where value was added along the way from plant to sell. And the feed mill's value added also varies widely, but is usually in the 100% plus range to cover their cost and turn a profit. In our real-life example, we use a local crop farmer who in April decides to grow corn in one of their fields. In October, they hire their neighbor to harvest the corn and decide what to do with their crop based on the market conditions. Local trucking company is then hired to take corn to Woodrow Grain Elevator here in Guelph. Throughout November, Woodrow dries the corn to a safe moisture content and then stores it for a month. In December, the farmer sells their corn to Floridale Feed outside the town of Elmira. They use it to make a finishing ration for beef cattle. Then, in January, a local beef producer buys some finishing ration from Floridale to get their cows to market weight. So overall, throughout this presentation, we have learned that value is added throughout the supply chain from seed to feed.